Chris and Stephanie Lambert had barely moved into the new home in Milton when the town experienced its largest flood on record. Water flowed through the house, reaching a depth of about a handspan inside. It was more than knee-deep on the rest of their section. Since then, it's flooded approximately every 2 to 3 years. The last flood was in November. Mr. Lambert says the regular flooding damages their property, their mental health, and the water is often contaminated.
Well, everything goes underwater. There's not a lot of tide marks around here because there's nothing to leave a mark on anything, but there's one there which is definitely higher than that dog kennel. You find dead animals floating around that come washing off the hills.
2007, I think it went through the sewage treatment station, so, everything you've got to treat it as contaminated as well.
Yeah, it's a contaminated site every time we flood there.
He says the memory of water rising towards his front door will never go away.
Once it starts coming over the main road, within about an hour, the whole section's underwater. As soon as it busts over the main road, that's it. Oof, the river moves over to this road.
The property is near Milton's industrial zone, nestled between two branches of the Tokomariro River. During floods, their street and property becomes part of the river, flowing down the floodway corridor. The Clutha District Council says the area is clearly shown as flood-prone in the 1998 District Plan. It also detailed the floodplain in a flood risk management strategy published by the Clutha District Council and the Otago Regional Council in 2012. Chris Lambert says they knew the property was at risk of floods, but they thought it would be an issue every decade or two, not every couple of years.
It was a quaint 100-year-old cottage. Outside there were gardens all around the house. The flood's taken all those away. It was a really nice house. That room in there was fully wallpapered, but the first flood, the dampness from it all made all the wallpaper fall off. So that was a waste of time. We didn't do it. But it was a nice house when we bought the place.
The Clutha District Council says the only real solution for flood-prone dwellings is to raise them above the expected flood height. Mr. Lambert says they tried to raise the house or buy a relocatable home after receiving a $31,000 settlement from their insurer, but he says the bank told them the money needed to be used to ensure they didn't default on their mortgage. Mr. Lambert says they're stuck because no one will buy a house that can't be insured for flooding, and they can't afford to raise the house or move and risk defaulting on their mortgage. Stephanie Lambert says they've lost priceless keepsakes, furniture and electrical goods to the floodwaters, and the stress and costs keep rising.
I do think, where could we be? We didn't even want to be in this house by this stage. It was a start out. The kids were small, I think how different our lives could have been if we hadn't been flooded, if we had been able to get the bigger house, lots of things, the what ifs. Because it really mentally just drains you and having to deal with everything that comes with it.
Their son, 16-year-old Cairo, helps to protect their home when there is a flood warning. He and his brother Logan, who is 13, grew up in the house.
Lifting things up, I guess.
Packing up stuff.
Yeah, because Logan was, I think the first time he was old enough to be helping with stuff, he was quite scared of everything, obviously. You would be. And yeah, we had an hour's time with that one.
Their cat Missy went missing during the 2015 flood.
In 2015, it had started flooding in the house while we were packing everything up. And we were trying to keep track of everything, trying to keep track of where the cats were, hoping they'd be fine, but that didn't happen.
The Lamberts planned to ask the Clutha District Council to buy them out or help relocate them out of their home. In the meantime, they're bracing for the next big flood. In Milton for Checkpoint, Cortez Brunton, Tane.